Hello, everyone and no one, and welcome to another Rotten movie review. Today, we are reviewing the movie Dead 7, a sci fi original starring a metric fuck ton of pop stars. One that I found several years ago while I was still in the military was just like, you know what? I'm going to go through Amazon Prime or go through Netflix and just find like B and C horror movies while I get drunk during October one weekend. And this one to me did not disappoint. But with me, as always, is Tier Alexander. Tier, how you doing?
I'm doing great, my friend.
Alrighty, and joining us is Angela. Angela, how are you?
You have made me cry, sir.
You have made me
and,
ponder your insanity.
and rounding out the every square is a rectangle, and not every rectangle is a square. Is Will it Forge? Will, how you doing?
Oh, I'm having a good night.
So, Dead 7 is basically like the post-apocalyptic western. It's not exactly a western. Again, sci-fi original movie. I have no idea who like Danny Rode is for the director, but it does star Nick Carter as one of the main characters who also did help with the writing. It is really a take of like Seven Ronin. That's kind of a take of Magnificent Seven, but in a post-apocalyptic world. Has the whole, for being a zombie movie, more of the Romero vibes, and for a sci-fi movie that doesn't use one of the guns they have on the cover, which is a different gun. I'm pretty sure most of the guns were airsoft, other than like a quaint few. Because there was like three guns I can tell that were actual based on real guns. Well, four technically,
Mhm.
because Billy uses a 1911. Vermilion used a Ruger Mark IV, or probably like a Ruger Mark III with a bull barrel. Looks like Vaquero has a Remington 700, most likely, or of the sort. And then obviously, Jack, the first gun he uses is his M1 carbine that he then never uses again.
Mhm.
Because
So,
of course.
yeah. So to
Other
explain this
reasons.
movie, it's kind of fucking weird, and they don't get into a whole lot of like what caused the zombie apocalypse. They don't try to give an explanation to what brought the zombies there. It's just that, hey, it started in this area, and that's really all they know. And that there is a woman that's going through, that's basically kind of training zombies to be able to make them her army.
They did kind of reference it as a sickness
Yeah.
or disease, and
Yeah,
that it might have been,
it was something they
how they
done from the
started off
mines.
related from the mine.
It from the everything that Cyrene was saying. It started off in the mine, something that the miners brought with them.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a dwarven situation where they dug too deep and awoke something.
Yeah. Still,
Okay, so we got the zombie ball rock then.
I guess this
it's
is
Well,
the
it's not
zombie
it's not
ballrog.
necessarily like the zombie Balrog, but it's the fact as well of like viruses and whatnot can lie dormant for an extended period of time, just like some parasites can as well. So there's a
you
plus.
dig deep enough and you uncover
Yeah, there
their
could have been
valuable.
something that got stuck underground or whatnot as things moved around, and them mining finally brought it up.
Yep. You know.
But it's a
So
sci-fi original movie, and I still at least say for the somewhat gunplay, I'm glad they at least tried to mimic recoil of guns. Granted, for some of them, it was overboard. A 1911 is not going to kick that much. Most of the guns were not going to kick that much. And then obviously
They
Joey Fatone putting a pump action shotgun that doesn't have a buttstock that close to his face when he has to unfortunately take out someone. Yeah, that would have busted his skull.
mhm.
they clearly didn't have an armorer take him out for a range day.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good thing.
But that's why, like I said, to not think too highly of this movie or like expect too high much this movie. It's a sci-fi original cheese movie that was thought up by a pop star to bring a bunch of other pop stars and some other people in, because like Deborah Wilson playing Apocalyptica, who's done a metric fuck ton of voice acting. Carrie Keegan is Daisy Jane, who's done quite a bit of stuff as well. And you know, okay, for the pop stars in there, or it's like music artists, Nick Carter, Joey Fatone, I think AJ McLean is one of them. Eric Michael Estrada.
I
Uh,
have no clue who these people are.
I think that Joey Fatone and uh
well, Nick Carter was a solo
Nick
artist.
Carter.
Nick, solo like a
Oh,
solo boy band or more. I don't know if he was necessarily in a boy band, but he was more of I think a solo. I don't remember in that one.
if
Joey
Nick
Fatone wasn't in
wasn't
sync.
I have
okay, if
no clue
Nick
who the hell these people are.
okay, if Nick wasn't in either NSYNC or Backstreet Boys, then his brother was.
Okay, no, he was in. But at least he successfully auditioned to be in the Backstreet Boys.
Okay, then he was in. He was the one that was in Backstreet Boys.
See a previous comment.
I don't have to see the previous comment.
Yes,
I heard
dear, we understand that
we
you don't.
all heard
Yeah,
you.
that you don't know who all these people are and whatnot. Do you ever remember the band Everclear, Tier?
Nope.
So you never heard the
You
song like "Father of Mine," "I Will Buy You a New Car," "Heroin Girl"?
Do you forget what color my skin is? When I was a kid, I didn't listen to that shit. Sorry.
Do you not realize that I was also in the military and I have met several African American males who are from all different backgrounds that did not just listen to hip hop, you stereotypical racist son of a bitch?
Well, I didn't
Yeah, that
just
was
listen to.
pretty.
Hold on. I want to clarify something. I didn't just listen to hip hop. When I was younger, I was into techno and house, and then as I got older, I put classical music on that, and now I'm into Benedictine chanting. I don't know, sue me.
I'm just
And I
Oh,
like swing music.
we're just having fun with this, dear.
I know. I
are
love
you
you guys.
serious about Benedictine chanting?
No, God, no.
But no, the guy who was saying, this is a public establishment and whatnot, and that was the lead singer for Everclear. He also
I thought it was Mark Alamo at first.
he also had a small stint as one of the teachers in Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide.
Oh wow,
Yeah, he played the music teacher.
very cool.
Yeah, I have a weird amount of shit that it's like I have just like thrown back in the day that I would just like throw on specific channels because I didn't care about all the other ones. So it's like I would throw on Nickelodeon while I was doing shit around the house.
Understandable, but
Well, that's as an adult.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I had kids at the time, so at least I had an excuse.
Oh, my excuse was I just didn't give a fuck.
But Ned's Declassified was actually a pretty decent show.
No, it wasn't
I'm going
bad.
to take your word for it.
Yeah, Tier, I am actually with you on this, as I haven't followed or been on track with most of these, but I was entertained tonight. So
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. Like I like the movie.
Yeah.
Like, aside from my nitpicks that I'm gonna have, which I'm gonna have them,
Yeah.
I like the movie.
Well, it's like I said, for a sci-fi movie, yes, you had a metric fuck ton of overacting, but I honestly think they had a pretty good cinematography. They were really into their B-roll footage for this one of the the swooping sky shots.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh shit. And
I was
and
getting a little bit motion sick a couple of spots.
the Deborah Wilson is literally in every fucking thing. Like
Who?
Deborah, the one who
Deborah
played
Wilson.
Apocalyptica, like she's done a metric
Oh.
fuck ton of voice acting.
Yes, she is literally in everything. That's not a complaint. I love her as an actor.
Oh, and honestly, she played, in my opinion, a very convincing villain.
Oh yeah,
she-
she was.
Like,
She didn't have much characterization. She's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I need.
oh yeah, like it's just this is one of those movies that you're just putting on to go for the ride.
Yes, that is really what you're doing. With
Like
this.
you're not having a whole lot for the one thing.
Cool.
I still found it funny that other than if you're looking at the title and there, the guy all the way on the left with the clown makeup, like he's one of the villains, and the guy all the way on the right with the eye patch, he's one of the sheriffs. Like it's the one chick I didn't put a person's head over. She's actually the only survivor in the movie. So spoilers, since this is a 2016 movie.
Cyrene,
Yeah,
yeah.
Siren. But I don't care. Like I said, I found this movie purely by mistake, and it was one of those ones that there is so much you can nitpick, but it's just such a
It's a hidden gem, is what
fun
it is.
movie.
So fun.
Okay, I gotta admit, it is a good movie.
And it's that whole thing of you see pop stars that are usually supposed to play this like more for the most part innocent role or whatnot, but like they get to go beyond what they normally are. Are quite a few of them hamming it up a bit? Daisy.
Yeah. Oh God, that.
Like, but
Jesus, the overacting.
most of them are probably have never actually like done any acting before, other than the acting that they've had to do in like music videos and shit like that.
I think
I,
Joey Fatone's really the only one that I've seen do a lot of acting.
Joey.
I've seen Nick Carter and a couple of other things.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like Joey Fatone and Nick Carter, other than Carrie Keegan, because she's one of the only ones I'm aware of that's not a pop star by trade.
mm-hmm. Hey, I like how you got me as Joe.
Yeah,
You know me so well. I like that. I honestly liked his character.
yeah. Oh, I like all of them's character and everything. And other than I probably could have changed how Will's was a little bit better to on Vaquero. And obviously James's. I think I got quite a bit of the heads pretty well in.
Mm-hmm.
Like I even still have it
Lord,
matched up that the
Vaquero.
pipe goes into your fucking teeth.
Yeah. Oh, Vaquero. God damn it. Oh, man. They took it.
Oh yeah, like
I
Did him
cried
dirty.
you
so
can
bad.
definitely
Oh.
tell they rushed it a little bit and for how they did things, but again, it's just I find this to be a really fun movie, simple beginning, and it rolls well. It has you still have
it,
some lulls, but it's like in lulls it's like lulls in action, but it's not an overbearing thing of every moment has to be action packed, but like
yeah, they clearly cut a section of that because you don't see what they do to the horse. And that was rather annoying. Like you see them pull out their weapons and
They had already hauled ass.
Yeah.
Once he shot Vaquero, they were out of there.
yeah, but they still should have been like from everything. It seemed like they were going to chase him down and finish or drag him back or finish him
there
or something.
might have been a cut scene or it's like a scene that was cut from the thing, but like every single thing of this I've seen has been that variant to where it's basically this is a made for TV movie.
I get that. I'm just saying like that. All right, so at least for me,
It seemed like there should have been a whorehouse firefight.
exactly. Yes, it should have been either a whorehouse firefight or them firing and them trying to escape
Get a brothel,
because
shoot
it
them
just
up.
cuts. Yeah, it just ends. Like they give Vaquero to kill him, and
Because then, like,
and
my other nitpick is when before Billy gets fucking kidnapped. That's like they're walking through the thing, and it's like, how do you not notice a guy in clown makeup? Like those woods are not that dense.
how do you not like? That's another thing that they cut.
It's not
They-
like he was wearing camouflage either.
Like
was
he's
wearing
just
black
standing
and
there.
white.
That's another thing they cut. Like they instantly go from him getting kidnapped to them knowing that he's gone. Like that's I get it that it was made for TV and it was edited so for time. I get that. Like they only had what 97-minute crunch time.
Yeah, this was barely
And
an
they
hour and a
had
half.
the really cute little spots that you could put the commercials in.
Yeah,
Mhm.
All of that fun stuff. But it was a made-for-TV movie, so
I'll honestly say for a made for movie, I kind of liked how they had the chapter thing going on.
Yeah.
How it's like
Yeah.
each thing that was going into. So it could have almost been like a TV miniseries.
I think
If
this
it
would have been
wasn't
better
so
as a
short.
miniseries.
yeah,
Honestly,
to turn around and give them time to do the stuff that you're bitching about.
yeah, it would give them not only that, it would also give them time to flesh out the characters a bit more. Again, it's me nitpicking, and I know, but if it was a miniseries, it was like 6-episode miniseries. You
Get
you
rid
could
of some of
have
the loose ends.
lose some of the loose ends, and you could get why okay that's his friend, but like why is he a little over dramatic? Like are they best buds? You know,
I will be honest with you. I'm really glad they didn't have more time, or I would be a basket case right now.
Oh God,
Oh,
Well, I
oh,
mean
Angela be
that's why I
falling.
said this is more Romero-esque to where it has that feel of hopelessness, even though they tried so hard. They're not always, that not everyone is going to survive.
Oh, Seven Samurai. Sorry. Seven Ronin. No one survives. Like,
I
it's
think
a, it's a,
I think
it's
depending
a.
on which of the actual Seven Ronin films you see, there is
No, I'm talking
somewhere.
about the Kurosawa.
Oh, the Kurosawa. I was like, because I want to say I saw one to where it might have just been one of the guys is like hallucinations before death, but the fucking thief that joins them like somehow survives.
Like,
But I think
all
it's
of them are
supposed to be
killed.
implied that he's like the final guy's hallucination.
Yeah. All right. So in the original Kurosawa, like they all, it's a heroic last stand. Like they all know they're gonna die. That's why they're doing it. Like no one lives. Like the town is saved, but none of the samurai live.
Mm-hmm.
which
You
makes
know.
sense why Cyrene lived. She was not one of the original seven.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she wasn't one of the original seven.
Well, technically, she was the seventh, and the one who played her it is Nick Cannon's real life wife.
So he wasn't going to kill
So,
her. Mm-hmm.
and the dead
Nick
seven was
Carter, I'm
Nick Carter.
assuming.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, fuck.
Oh
Yeah,
God,
because
Nick
this
Cannon
one
had another wife.
probably
Oh
he's
Lord,
got like 20 something kids.
Holy shit.
you fruitful and multiply.
Yeah, and the I did like how the title is a homage to the 1960 Magnificent Seven.
Mm-hmm. Uh, so um, again, if they reflected out more, you maybe we'd get a scene where like they're mining through, they're in the mines digging, and someone starts coughing. All right, time to leave the mines because the canary is
Actually,
fucking dead.
I'm gonna be honest. I am actually glad that there was no explanation. It started from the whole thing. I get kind of tired of how every zombie movie has to show you the outbreak.
Yeah,
It's
I guess you.
complete. It's a completely unnecessary thing when you're looking at like how far into this it's supposed to be.
All right, I get it. Like if this was the beginning of the outbreak, then sure, I would like to see what started it. If it's not, then yeah.
Okay, so the first point of idiocy. Let's go into our nitpicking because I've got
All right,
some.
All right.
okay.
First point of idiocy. What in the frack was the freaking sheriff, deputy, whatever the hell, doing? Just leaving his kid randomly sitting around.
Because they
Yeah,
in that whole thing, I mean, I agree with you, but the thought was that for the most part, the town was relatively safe,
yeah.
and I think he expected his kid to be, or technically, it's not his kid; it's a kid he's raising. It's
It's
an
his
orphan.
adopted child.
It's a kid he's looking after since his parents are deceased.
Yeah, I get that, but he's taken responsibility for this kid. The rest of the kids were in town hall. Why was not that kid in town hall?
That's enough. Okay, now that you bring that up, that is a major plot point that should be addressed or should have been addressed somehow. Why isn't he in town hall with the others? Or
Yeah,
maybe he was in town hall, but he's the sheriff's kid. No one's gonna say anything because sheriff will bring him back.
Not because the sheriff knew he was at home.
That's true. Huh. Okay, I will openly admit that one. That
from
one does.
I think the whole thing of it as well is not everyone was at the town hall. Just there were a lot of people who stayed there
The
because
refugees,
they
maybe.
fall into the whole safety and numbers thing, and there may have been because like there were still people that went and went to the bar. Dr. Fauci
Okay.
started it.
Ah,
Well, this was 2016, so this would
hey,
have.
it could have been.
He was still in Austin,
Well,
but that
within
was.
Fauci's purview.
But this was pre. Well, made pre beer virus.
Oh God, it did. Oh no, it didn't. All right. again,
Hey, brother.
And I
No
don't
clown.
remember seeing any of the the plastic Wonder Nines. It was predominantly looked like a lot of airsoft guns, and most of them were not that. I'm trying to think. Like,
Yeah.
most of it was, since it was supposed to be more based on a Western type thing, for being like like a zombie homage to the Magnificent Seven. It's why there was more revolvers, because I mean, if we look at semi-autos, besides rifles, the semi-autos were what looked like probably a 380 that Trixie used, the 1911 that Billy used, and the probably like Mark III Ruger that Vermilion used. Everyone else used revolvers.
And I got a question about Trixie. All right, so Trixie said that this was a friend of hers and she was going to stay with a friend of hers. You know, Mm, she did.
Oh
She
wait,
wasn't aware.
I'm sorry, not Trixie. Daisy's gun, because
Uh,
Trixie used the fucking tomahawk.
no, she didn't use the tomahawk because she never fucking wields it. She just holds it.
No, you see her slap at one of them with it when Komodo has the leg. She swings it one
Yeah.
time.
And come on, Komodo, what is it, boy? You don't get that your girl is working at a whorehouse?
I
Yes.
was
Yeah.
gonna say he was completely unaware that that bitch was a hope.
Look what she was wearing.
And it's not like she was suddenly in something new when he went to find her.
Yeah.
She
Yes.
wore dressed like that the whole time.
All right. And even if that's the case, in a situation like that, that profession would be totally acceptable.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, while Western time, being a whore was not a bad thing.
I honestly think what it was is just one of those things that, for how Komodo was, like, he knew what she was. He just didn't like people using the term whore or prostitute. Why?
He
I
was
don't know.
utterly shocked.
Yeah.
Again, his
He seemed
sensibilities are
utterly
all wrong. His sensibilities are all wrong then. Because in a situation like that, her being a whore wouldn't have been a bad thing. It wouldn't have been something he would frown upon.
He was Latino, and he very definitely would have been Catholic.
Yeah, but you gotta remember,
It would
they're
have
not
been
Catholic. From everything. All right, so Cyrene said that her grandmother and her grandfather were like her grandfather with the original Kari, if you will. So that would mean that in her grandmother's time, you know, she would have he wouldn't have had time to be a Catholic because this shit's already started throughout his life. He'd have had to be grown up in this apocalypse.
Again, it's just how they did his character. They're supposed to be flawed people, Tier.
I get it.
also you don't not grow up Catholic because there's a freaking
Zombie apocalypse.
I'm just saying, like, if this zombie apocalypse is going on, I'm pretty sure people had other things than praying to God.
Well,
Like
again,
not getting eaten.
you
yeah,
also
you
have to
pray
look,
while you're running.
you also have to look at the fact here that for this one as well, they're well into the apocalypse. Considering the fact she said it started with her grandfather and that whole scenario, they're 2 generations past, almost 3 from the epicenter of when it started. So it wouldn't have been near as, there'd still be the fear, but it wouldn't be near as much fear. Because it's kind of that whole thing of growing into, this is the new norm.
And you
No,
can't
I'm not talking.
you can't say that there wouldn't have been religious connotations when friggin' Joey Fatone is playing Amazing Grace for Vaquero as he's shooting him.
Well, before.
Well, yeah.
Before he shoots him.
As he's getting ready to shoot him.
But my issue
yeah,
is
again,
this.
it's a flawed movie. Like, I understand you have the issues with it, Tier, but you also have to come to the realization that this is not a major Hollywood production. It didn't have
Agreed.
an armor. It's a sci-fi original TV movie.
They did
I'm
a
You
not.
are
lot better
going
than
way into this more than it is. Like it
I'm
is.
not
It is.
knocking that.
It just seems to
I'm
be
just
seriously bothering you.
no. It's not that. Like that. If given given the setting that they're trying to represent, a post-apocalyptic wild western. That's what they're trying to give us, right? Everybody seems to be cowboys and Indians. That's what Cyrene was. She was essentially an Indian.
Mhm.
That's what the two leads were. They were cowboys. That's being said, they her being a whore dressed like that and throughout the entire thing, it's like not like she changed her clothes. He'd have probably known she's a whore. He'd have probably met her at a brothel.
Except for he met her at the bar. And it's just one of those weird things that they just kind of didn't look into and they threw in there for whatever reason. I mean, because it had three writers. Like, yes, Nick Carter was one. The other one was Sawyer Perry, and then Wayne R. Whitley.
I'm more pissed off that there wasn't a brothel shootout and there weren't titties.
Again, there wouldn't
It's
be
a
know,
titty.
man,
made for TV movie.
I know.
Like
I
even
said
though it's
that. I
even though
understand.
it's a cable it's a cable movie, yeah, it's not gonna have that.
I
It
know,
aired
and that's why
during
I'm
prime
pissed.
time.
And that's why I'm pissed. There was no titties. It teased titties. It teased a lot of titties, and didn't deliver on anything. That was it's just a huge cock tease.
It
Not even a
showed
nip slip.
it showed as much as it could and
Well,
still be on TV.
Tier, I'll give you a movie that you need to look up because apparently the writer Wayne R. Whitley, one of the movies he acted in before doing writing for Dead 7
Mm-hmm.
and wrote as well, was called Kung Fu and Titties.
I'm gonna have to
There
look
you
that
go,
up.
dear. Go find it.
He also was
I'm
in
typing it in now.
Swamp Zombies 2.
You threw that stick far, Rotten.
You're
And
welcome.
I'm chasing it down.
we're not going to see him the rest of the night.
What? What? I'm looking for titties.
Yeah, it's always just funny how some of the things go in for that. And there definitely was some like plot holes for you're like, huh?
Yeah.
And then for like how little they knew Cyrene for Billy to go jump in front of her to take a shot or to take the shot instead of like, I don't know, pushing her.
Yeah. Well, I'll chalk that up to him being suicidal because he just lost his girl.
He just lost his girl. And he saw that his brother liked Cyrene, so
Yeah. So he's just protecting her for him.
I think it was more he was protecting his brother because he hadn't seen his brother actually care about somebody.
And Mr.
Yeah,
Scott, the
wow.
writer for Zombie Strippers, is the same person who directed it, Jay Lee.
Again, aside from my nitpicks, I will repeat this phrase. I did like this movie.
Because it was a good movie.
It you know it was a good movie when Angela cries.
Well, it's that whole thing, and I think I set the expectations better of like, hey, this isn't going to be like a Romero movie, but it's not near as bad as like Sharknado. From everything, I still have yet to watch the Sharknado movies. I just know that like so many of them, yes, they
The
have
first
it.
one was it's a fun movie to watch. You cannot
boy
take it
movie.
seriously.
Oh yeah, but is that the one to where a guy jumps into the shark's mouth holding a chainsaw?
Yes.
Yes.
It's where
Maybe. Yeah, I think so.
yes, the first one is where he jumps into the shark's mouth and he goes with the chainsaw and he cuts through the shark. It is
All
a
I
good
know
movie.
is it's Ian Ziering, and it's probably the first thing I've ever liked him in.
Like Tuin?
Uh, I call him Ian Ziering, but he pronounces his name Ian. He's too good for her. It's kind of like Ralph Fiennes, or as most people call him, Ray Fiennes.
Hmm.
It is fine, but because he decided Ralph should be pronounced Ray, I'm an asshole about his last name.
Yeah, like my nitpick is one of my nitpicks is like, okay, you put one had Joey Fatone with a Tavor on one of the poster arts, and then it was never in the movie. But then again, for some of the promotional material of like what they had, like stuff wasn't in there. Like half the stuff they have on Nick Carter and one of the freaking things on there. One of the funny things was the tag. One of the taglines was larger than life, and that was a reference to the Backstreet Boys song, which obviously Tyr doesn't know. He's probably heard in passing and just doesn't realize it.
I've heard it because there's a parody of it that I love. It's called "Dab on My Name" by the Merkins.
I actually really do like Joey Fatone, at least as an actor. I know this group goes into politics and stuff, but I don't know his politics. But as an actor, I do enjoy his work.
Yeah, they did the pacing well. It was neither too fast nor too slow as a rule, but it did have, they sacrificed in the realm of loose threads.
Yeah, they
Uh,
really did.
I know what they could have done if they'd have cut the entire brothel scene. If they cut Trixie in the brothel scene, that had Vaccaro died some other way, like maybe he was taking a sniper shot, and he didn't hear somebody coming up on him and get bit then, and then his friend goes, puts him down that way. That'd have been a little better because that whole brothel subplot went nowhere. Like them grabbing the weapons to do anything just went nowhere.
Not even if they had kept Trixie and left out the brothel scene.
Mm-hmm.
But they wanted a reason for them to get sidetracked from going to the mountain like they were supposed to.
yes, the
Or
all powerful booty call.
I got one better for you. I got one better for you. All right. So they're going through the mines. So they realize they need to shut the mines, or a bigger army that's already on its way is going to get through. They're arguing about who gets to do it. Who has to do it. Vaccaro takes the dynamite or whatever they need and does it himself. While he's holding the dynamite, he's taking out as many as he can so his friends can get away. And then you hear Joey Fatone's character, Whiskey Joe, playing the song and goes, "That's my favorite song, Holmes." And they're running out. It would give more weight to that death. And
No.
he would.
No, you just made it absolutely. You just destroyed it.
No,
well,
I would not have.
Well, hold on.
You did a campy 180 on it.
Yeah, I was saying because for that you're trying to have it have more meaning when, again, this is supposed to go towards like the Magnificent Seven, and
yeah, but they all
hold on, let me finish. Which the Magnificent Seven is also supposed to be more reminiscent of a lot of Western books, not spaghetti westerns, from everything I'm aware of. Which sometimes means people are going to, even main characters are going to die in not the best ways and not have a lot of meaning for it.
All right, so the premise of the Seven, which this shit is all based off of, is that they all died heroically.
Mm-hmm.
And even in Magnificent Seven, they all went down heroically. and to have them to have him sidelined in a side story and have his death mean like if he'd have died,
Dying for love is not heroic to you.
he's not dying for love. He if he
Vaquero died. Say, Vaquero died for a booty call.
yeah,
No,
but
Well,
he
he
never
was
met
in
before.
love with that. He was in love with her. He was stupid. He
no,
was
that's
stupid. He
not
was
the
very
hero.
much
No,
a
that's
that
he was,
that would have
not
been Komodo.
Vasquez.
Yeah,
That was
Vaquero, not
very-
Komodo.
I'm
Yeah,
talking
that's what
about
I'm
the
saying.
sniper. I'm talking about the sniper.
yeah, which is Vaquero.
Yeah,
Yes.
he
Yes.
didn't die for love. He was tricked.
He was
But
he was the one.
But before he
Good.
did turn, he did warn them to
Oh.
where they were able to get out in time.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking of
So
it completely
technically,
different.
his death
Yeah,
did
that was
have
a
meaning.
heroic death.
It wasn't the greatest death, but his death did have meaning. The one to where it wasn't really a heroic death was Komodo's. That was a dumbass who was kissing his girlfriend, after she got bit.
That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah,
And I don't think that was unheroic. I think it was stupid because he turned around and decided that he was in love. It was very much a Romeo and Juliet bullshit.
yeah, but I have no
But,
issue with that death. That's
Instead
not
of-
the issue. The death I have the issue with.
So instead of the whole thing of I'm in love with the stripper, he's like, I'm in love with the hooker.
Yeah, but again, that's not the death I have an issue with. The death I have the issue with is the snipers.
Vaquero.
Again,
Okay, now I understand.
now if they'd have done something like if they'd have had that fight scene where he's shooting and as he's like turning and he's trying to hold on so he can help his friends, it would have been a little better. At least for me, it would have been way better.
I still
Or-
think it was I still think it was very heroic. He fought turning long enough to warn his friends that they were in danger.
Yeah, and he got out, and he turns on the way there. But if he just started firing back, and if he's attacking the enemy, and then he turns to his friend and goes, he sees him turning and goes, yeah. Again, and then they play fast and loose with how you turn too. Like it's not the same with everybody.
No,
I
just
think
like
it
any
has to
virus
do
would
with
be.
how close I think it honestly has to do with how close any wounds are to your heart, so that it's based on your blood, with your infected blood getting back to your heart to cycle through your body.
Yeah, mostly being cycled through your brain.
Yeah, but that's.
But
still
they've
not
also
how-
kind of shown that ones that have recently died can be turned as well.
Yeah, so it's played fast and loose with it. So it's weird.
But again, it's that whole thing of like so many zombie movies play fast and loose of how things turn.
Well,
One minute you have one person that can go like look at the remake of Dawn of the Dead. The one guy who was like, oh, I wasn't good at anything, but I was good at being a dad, had been bit throughout the entire film or damn near the entire film, but doesn't turn. But then several other people who got bit after he did turn exponentially faster.
yeah. So again, this playing fast and loose with shit. It just boggles my mind about how fast someone turns or when they turn or whatever.
I think it's supposed to be a allusion to variable.
John Aston died.
What?
Yep.
No.
Wait, Sean
Fuck, I
Astin
just found
is
out-
in.
No,
John.
John's his
John.
dad.
Oh. Okay, that's.
Gomez Adams.
Oh, that sucks.
Yes.
Who's Gomez?
Yes.
Wasn't he the original?
Yes. He was the original Gomez Adams. I just found out before we got on here about Chris Christopherson, damn it.
Man, a lot of people.
Fuck.
Angela just no. He.
Well, I mean, quite a few of them were freaking in like their mid-20s, and then it's like for For these guys, they were in their fucking like early to mid 20s in the early 90s.
No, he wasn't originally Gomez.
John Adams.
John
Oh, John
Aston.
Aston. Yes. He
It's
was
not
the
coming up.
original Gomez Adams.
Not coming up on his
It's literally right here. There's a picture of him as Gomez Adams when you type in his name.
I'm not seeing it.
Then you're blind.
It's not popping up on on his Wikipedia page.
I am looking at his movies and shows. The Addams Family, 1964 to 1966.
Oh.
It's the very first thing on the list.
No, not John Aston.
I think he's trying to say John Ashton.
Ashton. Yes.
Okay.
He's been dead for a while. He's still alive. Whew. Okay. And he's a Baltimorean. That's even better.
You totally messed me up, dude. I was losing my shit.
Let's go back to going about the frickin' movie. I'll actually honestly say I thought it was pretty cool for the fact of like for how many of the pop stars were in there and everything. They were actually the ones who did the soundtrack for it as well.
I mean, there were some bangers in that movie.
Yeah, apparently Jacob Underwood, who played Stamper, I don't remember which one that was, but he was the one who sang a lot of the songs.
I swear, one of them, the guy in the bar looked like Mark Alamo, and I could have swore it was him.
The guy in the bar who says, like, this is a public establishment.
Yeah.
No, that's the lead singer of Everclear.
I get it, but I'm saying he just looks like Mark Alamo. Or he looked like Mark Alamo in that in this.
Yeah,
so I'm about to scream, "Do God!"
Yeah, because you had for the actual boy bands one, you had 3 members from Backstreet Boys, which was AJ McLean, Howie Dorough, and Nick Carter. The 2 from NSYNC were Chris Kirkpatrick and Joey Fatone, and they had Jeff Timmons from 98 Degrees. And additional boy band members of the cast include Eric Michael Estrada, and Dan Miller, and Jacob Underwood from O-Town.
Yeah, I was gonna say they were from O-Town.
He still is Mr. Scott.
And then you had the lead singers from Everclear and Crazy Town.
Here,
well
I was a blind man. I wasn't a blind man. He just looked like him.
But could he cut it as a poor man stealing? Because we all know Tyr never made it as a wise man.
I'd be lucky if I made it as a 100-year-old lesbian. God damn it, he's old.
Did you just say you're a 100-year-old thespian?
I said make it as a 100-year-old thespian. Clean your ears out, woman.
Well, maybe if you would pronunciate things better.
My diction is perfect.
Yeah, I will disagree with that. I will disagree with that.
You can disagree. It's okay. I'm not angry at that.
Aren't we glad that Tyr's allowed to be wrong?
Yeah, I was like, you may not want to walk into any church.
You want to know something kind of funny, though? Until a few minutes ago, we almost went 45 minutes of just talking about the movie.
Jesus motherfucking Christ.
Like,
we actually did.
Yeah.
And it
It's
And I can still talk more about the movie if you
well,
want.
it's just one of those things that I'm definitely more than willing. I just think it's
Hello? Can
funny.
you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Testing,
we
1 2
hear
1 2.
you.
We can hear you, Tier. It's
Nope,
your
you
sound
can't.
doesn't work. We fucking tard.
It's not him, it's his.
I know it's his headset, and he probably ought to get a wired one for when he does shit like this.
No, it's not my headset. It is quite literally Discord kicking me because I could hear everything else. It is just Discord.
Mm.
Like if I were playing a game and I was talking to say Mitch or one of you guys, I could hear the game still going on.
Yeah.
Just can't hear Discord. Discord does this.
Have
every
you tried running
fucking
Discord
time.
as admin?
Yes.
I don't know what else to do for you other than
Have
plausibly.
you tried reconfiguring your audio since your audio devices are clearly messed up?
It's not my audio that
Well,
it's Discord.
hold on. On Discord, click on your settings, user
I've done that
settings,
before.
and go to voice and video, and what does your speaker or what does your output device say?
My output device is always my headphones because I had to do that to fix the
Say.
initial problem.
It's 2 cups, 1 string.
Yes, it is my headphones. I know all that. I've done that before. When
Well, like
the
every time
issue
you
first
have,
started out.
like every time you have this happen, though, you're always like, they can't hear me. We're like, we can fucking hear you, bro.
Yeah, but I can't hear you guys, so I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm. Like that's the issue. Like I could be saying, and nothing could be coming through.
It's safer at this point, though, to assume that it's just you not coming through and not receiving
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
sound.
still
That it's just
pisses me
you
off.
not receiving sound. You can assume that we hear you because it has not happened once where we have not.
Yeah, but see that the issue lies in the problem is I don't know if y'all have if it's because you guys stopped talking, or it's the issue. So if y'all stop talking and
Yeah, but it's that whole thing that every time that damn near happens, before you necessarily say Discord, you're always like, they can't. You will legitimately say in several occasions, well, they can't hear me. And it's like, yeah, we can. You can't hear us. And we understand you can't hear us.
that's why if say I was playing the game with Mitch, I would have to switch back over to my to Discord to see if your lights are lighting up. And if they are, I know it's me. If it's not because you guys aren't talking. Like now.
It's always
We
you.
were not talking, right?
Exactly.
are
So I wouldn't know until y'all said something.
But then you always say that we can't hear you.
Well, moving on.
It is what it is.
I will say,
Hell
like,
Lorraine.
I'm definitely not a fan of like some of the stuff. Like, I didn't hate Vaquero's rifle. I didn't understand why, like, at the end of it, for some odd reason, they also put on a magnifying glass. Like, that was some like dumbass fucking like post-apocalyptic video game shit that would be done on one.
Maybe they were trying to burn. He was going to hit the sunlight. Maybe it was a makeshift red dot.
No,
'Cause
because his was meant to be an actual scope, so the red dot thing wouldn't make sense unless somehow like something was up with the glass. So, but still, for
Well,
how his scope was, that you wouldn't want it that far away from it. You would want it directly on it. And honestly, Mr. Scott, there should not be a sequel to Dead 7.
Yeah.
It ended properly and
I
doesn't need a sequel to it.
Dead 7-3, Dead or 7.
They killed the villain. They lost the troop. It can be buried where it is.
Well, it's a zombie movie, so it can always come back.
The sequel to Dead 7 would be Dead 14.
Now the sequel to Dead 7 would be Dead or 7.
Have you paid attention to the Ocean's movies? It'd be Dead 7, Dead 8, Dead 10, Dead 11.
Do I need to watch Dead 1 through 6 to get
series?
this movie?
No,
Yes.
thankfully you can pick it up in the middle of the road.
Yes, you have to watch Dead 1 through 7 to get the movie because all the characters are introduced there.
Yeah, Dead by 7. Yeah, see,
No, it'd be like Fate of the Furious, you know? It'd be Fate of the Dead 7.
yeah, Dead 7-4, Dead by 7.
2 Dead, 2
Dances
7.
with Dead 7.
Ouch.
Well, because it went Fast and the Furious, and it was like Too Fast, Too Furious.
And then Fast
Oh.
it was Fast and Furious, not the Fast and Furious.
I mean, if we're
And
gonna
I've
talk like
actually
how
not seen any of those movies, so
I've seen a few of them, I honestly
I've
stopped
seen the
caring.
first one.
I have
saw-
seen snippets from some of them.
I saw the first one, which was good.
Yes, the first
And
one's
I
good.
saw the
Go ahead.
second one, which I think was the same people. I think it wasn't until the third one that they went to Tokyo.
No, the second one was Tokyo Drift.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, I saw
Oh, it wasn't?
Like the fifth, it was the fourth or fifth one that was Tokyo Drift. The second one is where they introduce what was it, Tyrese or whatever his name is, that also had Ludacris as one of the supporting characters.
And then
Well,
it just got ridiculous.
I saw up through Tokyo Drift. And then I did not watch any more Fast and Furious. Lucas Black in a fast car was enough for me.
And the one thing I still liked for the first Fast and the Furious was the fact that Ja Rule was only there for one fucking scene.
Mm-hmm.
They honestly could have not had him.
Which reminds me, I really want to find American Gossip on a streaming platform.
But this was a nice kickoff to the spooky
Okay,
month.
because it's the third one is Tokyo Drift. It goes.
I knew it was one of the two.
It was Fast and the Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious, Fast 5, Fast and Furious 6, Furious 7, Fate of the Furious, F9, The Fast Saga, Fast X, and then the spinoff was Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, I didn't think I saw any more than the third one. So
You want to know how we like the movie?
We're not talking about it anymore.
Yup.
Yeah,
We're
but
finding things that
but
are connected or adjacent to it to talk about.
well, you also have to think we talked about the movie itself for damn near 45, well, for like 40 minutes.
Yeah,
which is
I was impressed.
Throw back to the some of the Tremors stuff. Us going on that long about just the movie shows you really enjoyed it.
We either really, really liked it, but it's nuanced, or we really, really didn't like it and just have to let out the bile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now,
well, that was like it was just me, Tier, and James one day, and we had that what was it, Kiss of Death or something, where David Caruso was actually the main character.
Oh yeah.
Or
David
no, it
Caruso's
wasn't.
main character.
It wasn't that one. It was
no, it was the first.
No, it was. No, it wasn't the first Wicker Man, but we kept talking about because it was either one with. It was either one the one with David Caruso. Yeah, because that's where he.
That's where Michael Rappaport.
Yeah, we kept going like the Michael Rappaport death scene was not long enough.
Yep. I remember that conversation.
I'm so pissed at you for missing out. It was Time to Kill.
Yeah, I also missed the one that I keep hearing about, the Rappaport death scene not being long enough.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to miss them. Sometimes.
Well, David Caruso did a really good job in that one.
Well, David Caruso isn't a bad actor. He's just
and Nicolas Cage played a very good villain.
He's just not a great actor and is actually really easy to get lost in the background of things.
Oh, back to the movie. One thing that I really enjoyed too is the whole thought process behind Whiskey Joe's failsafe,
Yes.
and then it actually working the way he thought it out and
Planned it.
planned it out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How he designed it too.
The low tech, high tech overlay to if I become a copperhead, which is their word for the zombies, if I become a copperhead, I'm going to take myself out.
I do like how they did actually explain the origin of calling them the Copperhead, because since it started with the miners, since they mined copper, they had the copper dust on them, hence the Copperhead. I was like, that's actually pretty neat. It's better than
Yeah, because I
always.
was originally trying to figure out why they were calling them Copperhead.
It's way better than the whole thing of like just calling them the Walkers.
Or freaks.
Yeah.
I like how
I don't think they would have called them freaks here.
No, and there are movies where they refer to the zombies as like freaks. They never actually call them zombies; they call them freaks.
Yeah, and a lot of that though, in a lot of movies for that, they don't call them zombies. There's once where they called them like shamblers and that whole thing. So I will say this, because like for the next movie review, we want to do the next two technically. That we want to do plausibly the next two Romero movies, since we last year did the first Night of the Living Dead. We can do the original Dawn of the Dead, then the original Day of the Dead, or we could do the original Dawn of the Dead, then the remake of Dawn of the Dead.
I've never seen the remake, so I would quit for the remake.
He's not.
I would actually too.
Okay, so we can do that one. So for October, we will do the Dawn of the Dead and then the remake of Dawn of the Dead. And then next year, depending on how things go, we can do the Day of the Dead and then the Day of the Dead remake. Which, since it sounds like you guys haven't seen them, both the remakes of Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead have Ving Rhames in them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Peter, I know Michael Rappaport was the skinhead in Higher Learning. My personal favorite Michael Rappaport is Deep Blue Sea.
Doesn't he get eaten?
Yes, he does.
Nearly everybody does.
The only people who survive Deep Blue Sea are Thomas Jane and
LL Cool
J. And not LL Cool J's Bird. And yes, brother, I know that is blasphemy to you.
Hey,
what?
Well, it's like Samuel L. Jackson died, so one of the black guys died. Not every black guy has to die.
In my brother's opinion, in order for it to be officially a horror, it has to fulfill all tropes, which means no live black people at the end.
That's not a trope.
Well, then he must hate. What was it, Halloween H2O, to where Busta Rhymes?
He doesn't like that either.
No, it's just that the black guy dies first. It's not that all black people have to die. They have to die first.
And technically, in that movie, the black guy didn't die first in Deep Blue Sea.
Yep. So it doesn't fit the trope. Technically, it wasn't a horror movie. It was a science.
Yeah, it was a sci-fi thriller.
You would find it in the horror movie section of the video store.
Yeah, but you'll also find like every suspense thriller in the horror movie section at a lot of the video stores. Back in the day, since all of us are old folks who can remember back when there was the dude, I remember when there. Oh, thank you. I remember gas stations having small video rentals in them as well.
I do too.
Yeah,
right?
And like
you can finally say back in my day.
And like the small local rental places that also had the the beads to go back into the adult section
Yes, I love how it would just cordon off with a section of beads.
Well, it was usually like a curtain, and then they had the beads as well. So that way there was always something kind of telling people that you were going, telling everyone around that someone was going in there. It's like, someone's going to get a dirty movie.
Well, thank God for the internet.
But yes, what the hell? Happy birthday, Rotn.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm like going, what the heck was I going to say? I was going to say
In like
happy
10
birthday
hours,
to
I
Rotn.
get a dental implant.
Yay!
Hey, that's one step
That-
closer to being able to eat normal again. Instead of just eating on one
I'm
side.
still intrigued. You can't eat normal?
I can, but I'm mostly eating on one side of the mouth because I'm missing a tooth. Because it got
Yeah.
pulled. And I try to
Mhm.
avoid eating on that side of the mouth to make sure that food can't plausibly get in there.
As long as you didn't pull the socket out, it shouldn't matter. Or pull the clot out.
Mm.
I mean, the skin's moved over and everything. It's still just, I'm mildly paranoid about certain things, so I always just go and try to not fuck shit up like that.
Okay. Just wanted to let you know, as long as you didn't like
No,
pull the clot, end up doing something that knocked the clot out, and didn't end up with dry socket, you should be fine.
no, because they went and looked at it and said everything looked good and whatnot. But still, since the skin on there doesn't fully close from where the gums kind of go back together in a way, I was still just trying to make sure food or whatnot didn't get stuck in there and plausibly do something that it shouldn't.
Makes sense.
Good
Will
idea.
it happen? No, because I also typically when I'm done eating something, like I'll be drinking water and like swishing it around in my mouth as well to make sure I don't have anything in there. Because like whenever I have carbonated beverages or hot beverages, there's always a little weirdness that feels there. And I'm like, we're gonna rinse that out real quick. But I will be back in just a moment.
Mhm.
So continue talking about the movie or whatnot.
All
So,
of them not.
how about those Knicks?
No.
Oh,
Never said they had to die first because Jason never kills them first. Jason always kills the promiscuous ones first.
yes, he always kills the ones having sex on his ground. Jason doesn't like premarital sex. Jason would make a perfect
Yeah, that was
Inquisitor.
ridiculous.
So he might have some problems with the sixth commandment, but he's all about the seventh.
What? Honor thy mother and thy fathers, that thou shalt not kill.
The only reason Omar Epps and Jada Pinkett Smith were the first ones to die in Scream 2 was because they were the big headliners, and they were
It costs a lot.
basically just. I was in the middle of a sentence here.
Sorry.
They were basically the nod to Drew Barrymore in the first one. They're the big names to draw people in to see the movie and get knocked out at the very beginning so that they don't have to pay them as much as they would have asked for
For what?
to be a major role.
And what?
Scream and Scream 2. We're discussing Omar Epps being a freaking moron, putting his ear to the bathroom stall and in Scream 2.
Yeah. I still will say for the Scream one, which was making fun of so many horror movies, the fact of having the big name actress that you had on the cover as the first to die was a really cool thing. Like that's how you properly subvert expectations.
And it was also a way that they could have a big name to draw people in, but not have to pay them for the entire session of filming.
Well, the funny part is, because Drew Barrymore didn't actually want to do the movie. And when God, director and writer for it again.
Director was Wes Craven.
Yeah, Wes Craven. He was the one that suggested to her, or it's like either he was or she was. She's like, I'll do it, but I don't want to be in it for very long. I don't want to be in another horror movie, be the final girl and whatnot. He's like, and one of them was like, well, what if we kill you first? And she's just like, you son of a bitch, I'm in. Obviously, that's paraphrasing.
What horror movie was she the final girl in?
Well, she was really big at the time, so she didn't want to have that whole thing of like the trope of being plausibly final girl.
She was like just making her comeback into legitimate movies and did not want to
Be
end up
typecasted.
being typecast in as a scream queen. And she knew that they were that people who got that final girl role, that tended to be what most of their career was.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And she was like, no, I don't want that.
The only other dumb thing was like the guy who survives because of his knowledge of horror movies. And
I love him. I
was
love Randy. I was
Hold
so
on.
sad when they killed him.
hold on. Was when all of a sudden they had him have the tapes for the third movie. And go against his own rules in the second movie. For like that's how him dying. I'm like, I wouldn't do good in that one. That's like in that whole role because of the whole fact that's like I don't go out and whatnot. So
I wouldn't do that.
like it's like I don't go out and whatnot. So the first time Ghostface would go into the house and someone's like has that, it's basically gonna be them looking down the barrel of a gun, being like, "Drop the knife." No, bang.
Mhm.
Or it's probably if they got the
Yeah,
knife, it's
you
just
gotta
gonna
watch
be
out for
bang
the second
bang.
guy behind your back.
Well, that's the
You're,
thing.
you're
Is like
pausing to talk.
well, that's like I was gonna say. Well, that's the thing as well, though, is because I don't have unlocked doors anywhere, and I'm also mildly paranoid. My back's most likely already going to be against the wall. So unless he can do a fucking anime, sorry kid, teleport behind the back, like by the time that killer's not going to be able to get to me because like he's going to have to go through basically the same areas the first one did.
I just see Rotn doing like the movie scene that never actually happens in real life, where the guy's standing there with two guns with his arms outstretched, one pointing at each ghost face.
Mhm.
Prove which one of you's the real ghost face. I am. Dish dish. You're both dead anyways.
I don't know which one is the real ghost face. Tell me something else. Tell me the real ghost face, but no.
What's your favorite horror movie?
You got the real ghost face. I shoot him just to be safe.
Be one of those ones where it's like, the cops show up. Wow, you killed the serial killer. How? It's like, how'd you know he was the serial killer? He was a serial killer?
Okay,
He broke in and got shot.
What are the odds?
Rotn. I really, really want to do mixed nuts at
Ew.
Christmas time.
Oh,
Can
yeah, the
we do
movie.
mixed nuts at Christmas time?
I think I have that
Ugh.
one. I remember us talking about that movie.
You want mixed nuts? That was horrible. Ugh. Nuts, cashews, and almonds, and yeah.
I just want to say you said something right now that reminded me that I like at least watch it, because I don't.
It did it again. It had to.
No, that was hers.
Oh,
Because she
okay.
kind of trailed off on that one for me as well.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay.
Yes, I do have mixed nuts.
I don't want to spoil it.
I mean,
So
we can do that. I mean, for Christmas movies, I've got several of them we can go through potentially. We can go through some of the old ones. The only one that I refuse to do is like, I shouldn't say the only one. One of the ones I refuse to do is the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Why not?
oh,
That's a
thank
good one.
God.
I
on.
would do rare exports, but it's I think I have to find a good subtitled version of it because it is
Is
all
there
in
a
like
horror
Finnish.
movie, a Christmas horror movie like Krampus or
There's
Night
Krampus,
of
there's
Slaves?
rare
So I'm gonna get to
exports.
that.
Silent Night, Rare Exports, Silent Night, Deadly
Yeah.
Night.
The only issue with rare exports is it's like all in Finnish or something. Or Danish, I don't know. But I mean, like there are so many of the ones that you can do for that. I mean, we could always do like I'd have to find a better version of it, but like Ernest Saves Christmas. I mean, heck,
That
we could
was
have done like Ernest Scared Stupid
Shit, why didn't we do Ernest Scared Stupid? I love that movie.
because I kind of want to continue with the Romero ones because they're
Okay, makes sense.
some of my personal
because
favorites.
Rotten's got a soft touch for the the vampires. Hello,
The zombie movies.
the zombies.
Who the hell? Look at him. He's a rotten corpse. Of course, gonna fucking love
That
zombies.
you're the one that asked why we didn't do Ernest Scared Stupid.
Because I mean, like for Christmas movies, you know, it's like other than like the Santa Claus movies, you have A Christmas Carol, A Christmas Story, Die Hard 1 and 2, Eight Crazy Nights, both Ghostbusters in a way, Gremlins. I want to say it's like the first and third Harold. It might be the second, but it's like a couple of the Harold and Kumar are those
Yes.
ones. Both Home Alones, technically the first Lethal Weapon. Granted, the first Lethal Weapon is more of a buddy cop movie that is set during Christmas.
It's a Christmas movie.
I mean, we could always go with the Mighty Ducks as well, the first one. Because the first one's definitely a Christmas movie.
It is.
Mhm.
Okay.
I mean, there's all sorts of things that can be done for like Christmas and Halloween. The area to where it always sucks is,
Thanksgiving.
yes, I have to find that one Thanksgiving horror movie, and we lost Will.
Oh. Oh no.
Oh no! Someone go find Will.
Well, I thought we were doing Thanksgiving.
I'd have to
Thanksgiving?
find that one. I know we're gonna do Thanksgiving 3.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right.
So I'd have to look those up, or it's like not look those up, but look up the one Thanksgiving horror movie. And he's back.
Will's back. Okay.
I will.
There
Well,
let's just say that there aren't too many stress tests on computers that are as thorough as me just using it.
just what?
Using it, I abuse my so badly.
So do I.
Apparently, there was a parody directed by Eli Roth and written by Jeff Randall and Eli Roth back in 2007. That's a parody of slasher movie trailers. But then there is the 2000 one that came out or last year. That's called Thanksgiving that I'm gonna have to find. That again is directed by Eli Roth and apparently written by Jeff Rendell as well.
Yeah, I think they kind of like decided to flesh out the idea that they started with.
Plausibly. Now, I will say this: for the original Dawn of the Dead, we're not gonna see any boobs that I'm aware of here, but we are going to see a fuck ton of racial slurs in the beginning.
Yes.
That's even better.
Woolie's gone crazy. Oh, you guys got anything else?
Mm-mm.
Not a whole bunch.
Uh,
I do kind of wish we were watching Pumpkinhead at some point. But
I hear his enemies are mostly dead.
hmm.
maybe after we do the Romero movie.
I mean, the only ones that have remakes, and I'm not looking at doing the sequel to Day of the Dead remake because apparently there is a sequel to that one. The only ones after that are Land of the Dead, which is a good movie. I mean, hell, I'd even be good to, if we wanted to, until Thanksgiving, fucking do the Romero movies and get those out of the way.
I mean, hey, it's your show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we were just doing this every Sunday and that whole thing, it'd be super quick to go through. I just was getting kind of burnt out on always doing a movie review. And
Understandable.
And we're back to it's your show, and this is supposed to be fun for you.
Mhm.
it is, but I mean, we could have always just stuck with Nicolas Cage going through as well. So I'm trying. It's like I am having fun with it. It's just I don't know how I'm always. Some things
No,
change with the winds.
I will admit we needed
The break from Nicolas Cage again.
we needed a little bit of time between more Cage.
There was a lot of cages, yeah.
Yeah, but we also hit that spot to where he had like several good movies in a row.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying that his movies were bad. I was just saying that it was a lot of him.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much we just needed it was time for a little something else.
Well, Mr. Scott, I can say this: doing the next, doing the Dawn of the Dead original and Dawn of the Dead remake, I can get into a bit of gun talk for those ones.
Cool.
And I will have some definite criticisms of what was used. At least for the few ones I have, like criticisms of what was used in the original of like what they were going with. But it's been about an hour, 20 minutes, and most of this was spent on the actual movie that was, while it has it's definitely critiquable moments and problems.
Mm-hmm.
All in all, I still say it is a fun movie. You know, don't get your hopes up. Go into it just hoping to be entertained. But
Yes.
final thoughts on Dead 7, Tier?
Good movie. Turn your brain off. Just enjoy.
Angela?
Super fun. Don't forget your popcorn and a tissue.
And Will?
What is this tissue of which you speak? No, seriously, it's a great watch. Settle down to enjoy. Don't have set your expectations high, but don't set them super low. This is, I mean, for what they were working with, they did really well. Highly entertaining.
And you know, sometimes that makes you larger than life.
Ah!
I was looking for a way to put that back in there. But no, don't forget to check out everybody's other stuff. Pretty much everyone's linked in something or other in the description. And we all do stuff throughout the week for the most part. I may be doing another stream sometime throughout the week. Depends on how I feel with this whole dental thing and whatnot. And
anybody, you won't be on my show.
Yeah, I'll most likely be joined on tomorrow when Tier has Minions. Angela's on AJ's Retro Arcade. Thursdays there's the Never Watch Alone that all three of us should be on.
Yay!
And Friday, depending on Frosted having something else to do, I will most likely be the guest on the corner.
Yay!
I don't know why I volunteered for it, but sometimes I'm a glutton for punishment.
Yes, you are.
Before the midnight stream on Saturday, you will find me with Mr. Adam again and Inquisitor watching scary movies and doing well. You won't be able to see the scary movies, but you'll be able to hear us give a commentary over um, about the movie. And if you have access to the movie, you can watch along.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was still interested in doing that one like Mitch wanted to do, and I think it's like Mr. Adam wanted to do as well, to where basically you could get the movies that are past their royalty, so they're public domain, where you can go and like watch those, have them with like extremely low volume, or figuring out a way to where it can be shared in to where we can watch it and the viewers can watch it, but they just can't hear it, so they can't hit you for the audio.
It wouldn't stop them. They want to hit you, they'll hit you.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate. It's why I still keep saying that YouTube needs to get off their asses and get rid of their guidelines and just go with hard fucking rules, because they would make so much more money. But apparently they don't like money.
They don't.
I like
Yeah.
money. But we're going to get out of here. Have a good week, folks. I'm going to try to relax for a little bit and hopefully get some sleep. See how well
Good
it
luck,
gets
my
today and
friend.
whatnot. From what I've seen from this dentist, he's got good reviews and they've been really freaking cool. And
Good.
really good at their
Awesome.
job. So
Well, they better treat you good, otherwise you have to tell me who I gotta go beat up.
Yes.
that's why, like I said, from everything I've seen from them, they might not be the best of the best, but they are definitely not the worst of the worst, and I would say they're better than the mediocre.
Mm.
You think you gotta go beat him up, Angela? I'm nearby.
Well, okay, fine. This what's gonna happen. You're gonna start it, and then you're gonna call us and tell us who we got to beat up, and then we're all gonna beat them up.
I mean, depending on what happened, it would be that more thing of like, well, you guys don't have anyone to beat up, and I'm potentially going to jail.
Ah.
Oh wow.
That's and for legal reasons. That's a joke.
Say kind of
Deny
like
crap.
kind of like what I told my oldest daughter's first boyfriend. It's like, this is usually where the dad would say, if you hurt her, I will kill you. But you have to understand, if you hurt her, I don't think she'll leave enough pieces of you around for me to deal with.
Ooh.
In this case, this is our rotten corpse. You don't hurt him.
Exactly.
Y'all have a good week. I am going to get out of here. We're all going to get out of here and go relax or whatnot. So have a good one, folks.
Yeah, bye all.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Join us again next week, or you can check out the other people in the panel in the description and see us again plausibly on one of their channels, or just check out what work they've done. Have a good week, everyone.